Hi everyone, it's Catherine Langman here, and today I would really love to talk about how to get bloggers and influencers to share your stuff. So I'm dialing in from Productpreneur Success HQ, and as a productpreneur, product-based business owner, you really want to be building your brand and getting more traffic to your website, growing your sales, all of that kind of stuff. And a really cool way to help you on your way with those goals is to work with bloggers and influencers. Now, if you think about it, publicity, which at the end of the day is just getting media and bloggers and social media influencers nowadays to share your stuff for free. So share your news about your business or your brand, share information about your products and your promotions and that sort of thing. And so publicity has been around for donkey's years. And as a brand selling direct, if you're a brand selling direct to consumers or you're an e-commerce retailer, there are some really solid reasons why you want to get bloggers or influencers to share your content. So again, that could be sharing blog content, it could be sharing information about your products or about your promotions, and so on and so forth. And definitely pop a comment below if you've had success, or maybe if you've had terrible time working with bloggers or influencers yourself. So the reasons why this can be really valuable to your business is, number one, it helps to build brand awareness with your ideal customers. Obviously, you have to pick the right bloggers and influencers for this to work, but I think it's fairly obvious that if people don't know that your brand or your business exists, it's pretty hard to get customers buying from you. And I can tell you from experience working with my clients that trying to rely purely on paid advertising to get people to visit your website and to know about you is a really expensive way to go about building your business. So number one, it helps build brand awareness. Number two, you gain credibility by aligning your brand or your business with that particular blogger or influencer. So, potential customers are much more likely to be receptive to recommendations from somebody that they respect and that they trust. So, that kind of recommendation or perceived recommendation from the blogger or influencer really does help to give your business some credibility. Number three, you will get traffic to your website, and not just any traffic, it'll be quality traffic. So, you want people who are likely to be your ideal customers. So again, you need to pick carefully with the bloggers and the influencers that you work with. They need to have the same kind of audience that you're trying to target in your business. But it is a great source of traffic. Again, it's not a consistent ongoing source of traffic, but it'll be a nice, really big boost. And then you can rely on your Facebook ads or other advertising for your ongoing consistent traffic to your website. And the fourth reason the fourth benefit from working with bloggers and influencers, this is for those of you who are wholesaling, but you will get picked up by new wholesale stockists. So for many new brands, it can be really hard to break into the wholesale market because these days retailers, they're really busy and they're possibly a little bit guarded. They don't want to take phone calls or answer emails from people they don't know. And certainly doing trade shows these days is very, very expensive to do. But when retailers see a new brand or product go off on social media, then they will approach you in a jiffy. And I've seen this happen with my clients as well. So let me quickly walk you through my 4 steps to getting bloggers or influencers to share your stuff. So you can go about doing this yourself. And the first is to identify the right bloggers and influencers. So as I've alluded to before, you don't want just anyone sharing your content. You want to identify the media, the bloggers, the influencers whose audience is similar to your own. So your first step is to generate, a list of bloggers or influencers in your product category or in your niche whose audience you'd love to get in front of. And if you want to jump over on my website, I'm going to put a link here on the video to grab my influencer outreach list template if you want to help you with this exercise. So your list can include individuals who write their own blog or have a following on social media channels like Facebook or Instagram. And note, I'm not talking about brand reps specifically here. So that's a term that has grown to mean Instagrammers who represent your brand by creating and sharing content to their followers on Instagram. So I might talk about that another day. So your list could also include more commercial style blogs that run a bit more like a digital magazine, such as Mamma Mia, for instance. And start by listing these bloggers or influencers in a simple spreadsheet. So you want to include the blog URL, the blogger or influencer's name, their social media handles, and if possible, their contact details. So email is definitely ideal. And step number 2, organize your list into tiers, chunk them into priorities, I guess. So not all bloggers or influencers are going to be equal. Some will have more followers, some will have more engagement, and it's hard to know which will send the most quality traffic to your website. So sometimes a blogger or influencer with a smaller but more engaged following will produce more sales for you than a bigger blog with a bigger following. So you want to review metrics such as how many followers they have and how many comments they have on their social media post or blog. And also you want to consider how closely aligned their audience is with your ideal customer. Ultimately, the bigger the blog with the best match in terms of your product category or your industry niche, the better. So your next step is to try and group your list into tiers. Tier 1 is the biggest and the best, Tier 2 is mid-level, and Tier 3 would be the smaller blogs or influencers that have, much fewer followers. And add these details to your spreadsheet and then organize in order of tiers. So this will help you to focus your efforts in the right places so that you get your biggest bang for your buck, or the best return for your effort. And step number 3 is to start building relationships. So you want to start reaching out to these bloggers and influencers and ask them, but you don't want to ask them immediately to share your content. Before you do that, you want to start warming up your hit list first. Specifically, start building a relationship with your Tier 1 list. It'll take a lot longer to get those bloggers and influencers to share your stuff compared to Tier 2 and 3. So when it comes to Tier 2 and 3 bloggers or influencers on your list, you may get a positive response by reaching out to them straight away. Generally, I find that smaller or newer bloggers will be quicker to share your content than the bigger or more established players, because basically, they're all hungry for content. It's hard work creating content on a daily basis. So you can start with those ones. But then how do you develop a relationship with the top tier blogs in your industry niche? So you want to start by sharing their content on your social media. So make sure you mention their handles so that they see your share. Then you want to engage with them on social media, commenting on their posts or answering questions posted by their followers. So you're having that conversation. And then you want to share your thoughts and insights by commenting on their blog as well. So be specific in your comments, not something generic like, "This is great." And then you want to send a complimentary email, or perhaps you could even invite them to a VIP event just for a select group of bloggers. And I've definitely seen that work really well for a friend of mine. So a friend of mine used this tactic beautifully in her business. She invited 10 bloggers to a gorgeous high tea event where they were pampered with champagne, a gift bag, and she told them her story that led to the creation of her product. And a couple of those bloggers, they were quite big name bloggers, went on to become regular advocates of her brand and sharing her content and promoting her products. So it really worked well for her. And then, of course, the 4th step is to get in touch. I know a lot of people, women especially, are scared of this bit, and that certainly was me in the past, because it attracts a similar fear factor to the cold calling. But I promise this step is much easier once you've made the effort to warm up your audience and build relationships with these bloggers and influencers on your list. Remember, the goal here is to get these influencers to share your content, and this usually happens in the form of a retweet or a shared post on Facebook or Instagram, but sometimes can also be shared via email to their list. If you're lucky, that's the gold star standard. Ideally, you will make contact via the blogger's email address that you uncovered, hopefully, in step number 1. But if that's not available, use their contact form on their website instead. Use a subject line, something like, "I think you'd enjoy this article," for instance, followed by a simple email, and definitely personalize it with their name. So it could be, "Hi, so-and-so, as someone who is passionate about your topic, I thought you'd really be interested in a new post I just published," and then you can share the URL and hope you enjoy it. and keep up the good stuff, and then, you know, mention their blog name. So it's not a generic email that you're just sending to everyone, right? So you're not asking for anything specific. You want to keep the email short and sweet. And if you've actually mentioned this blogger or influencer in your blog, you would vary this email by mentioning this fact. So some people are more likely to share your stuff if there's something in it for them. So, you know, a link to their blog or to their website, or some visibility for them as well. And then if you do get a share, you've got to say thank you. There's nothing more annoying than an ungrateful so-and-so. So remember your manners. Secondly, if you get a mention on their blog or their social media pages, include their name or logo plus a link back to their blog or social media page on your website. I like to see an as seen in page on e-commerce websites, so definitely add that one in. So that's what I have for you today, talking about how to get bloggers and influencers to share your stuff. As I mentioned at the start, it's a great way to build brand awareness, gain credibility for your business, get traffic to your website, and even pick up wholesale stockists. So I'd love you to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and jump over to the website. I've got the link there where you can grab that free template to, it's an influencer outreach list template. So I'll save you the hard work in creating that. So you can jump over there and grab that when you like. So that's all I have for you today. Have a great day, have a great week, and let's go get them. Bye for now.